Alright, so we recorded this on a different camera and it recorded, but the sound wasn't very good. So what you're going to have to do is watch this real quick. First thing you need to do is you need to clean and prep your area. So I'll turn that sound off and we'll go full screen. So this is for the cellular communication piece. First thing you need to do, take 10% bleach solution and you're going to spray down your area. Don't want to have any critters where there shouldn't be critters, so we wipe that area down. Then the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to take a permanent marker somewhere, there it is, and you're going to label your petri dishes, A, alpha, and mixed. Don't label the lids, you want to label the undersides of them. I was just trying to show that, because if you mix up your lids, then you'll have problems. Ryan tried to erase permanent ink there. That was funny. And we're going to continue on here. Next thing is, once you label your lids, then you go ahead and label all your vials. So this one's real quick. And again, keep the vials closed and keep them with the different petri dishes that have already been labeled. So that's pretty much what we're doing there. Next thing that you do is you're going to take the sterile water solution and unscrew the cap on that. You can use a little pipette. There's a little line right here located on the thing. That's about 2 mils, so just kind of get it somewhere in that ballpark area. So squeeze up 2 mils of sterile water. Take the tops off of a vial, off of the each labeled vial, and you're going to transfer the water over into the vials. So that's what we're doing there. Put the caps back on. Sometimes they kind of pop. Sometimes they don't really come off very easily. So just kind of be aware of that. And then as you move along, just have a lab partner help you out with that. So exciting business going on right here. Water into vials. Then once you get all the water into the vials, the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to find the stock solutions, or you're going to find toothpicks, and they're sterile, they're autoclaved. They've got a little piece of tape on them that says autoclaved, and there's the tape that says autoclaved, and they have been pressure treated to get themselves cleaned up. Alright, I'm back. I hope that was smooth enough. Anyway, so we're going to take our toothpicks and we're going to swipe out the stock solutions or stock plates of the A type, alpha type, and then we're going to mix them. So you take your toothpick and you're going to lay it flat, and you're just going to swipe the surface of it. You don't want to be digging at all. So just like a nice flat, that should be good enough. And then you take your vial that's labeled with that solution. So that was the A type. And then you're going to, we're going to put that in the vial. There we go. Caught ourselves. Vial caps are hard to get off sometimes. And we're actually just going to put the toothpick into the vial. Ryan touched it on the edge there a little bit, so he's got to scoop off the little bit of yeast that's on there. And we're just going to drop the toothpick into the vial and shake the solution off of the toothpick. Okay, so that little yeast suspension should be in there at that point. Then you're going to repeat that process with the other ones. And so you want to take the toothpick that you used for the previous one and make sure that goes away. Use a new toothpick. Scrape that a little bit. That should be good. Use the vial with that one. Vial caps are hard to get off. Drop that in there. And then with the mixed solution, the final solution, oh, there we go. Ryan is instructing me to properly mix with vigor. So there we go. And then with the mixed solution, you want to use both types of yeast, obviously. 2 different toothpicks, and use that one vial So he's going to take a little swab there, and we're going to chuck it into that vial. He's going to hang on to that. We'll use the other yeast type, a little bit of a swipe, put that toothpick in there, put the cap back on there, shake it up. That should do it. Okay, moving on to the last piece here. You guys are going to take observations of these things at different times, 0 minutes, 30 minutes, and 1 hour. The 0 minute time frame obviously is right away. So what you want to do is take your solution and, oops, I forgot to show you what we wanted to do here first. Sorry, I'm going to go back and just keep going here. Once you have those solutions, once you have those solutions, you're going to take a pipette and you are going to put about 5 drops of that solution into the agar plate itself of the correct type. So take about 5 drops, more or less. It doesn't have to be perfect. But you're going to suction that up into there, and then you're going to drop about 5 drops onto there. And you're going to take that and make sure that you throw this pipette away. There we go. Don't use that pipette again. So we'll dispose of that. Then what you do is use little cotton swabs, and you rip those open. There's 2 in every box. And once you have the cotton swabs, then you're going to take and get the little cottony head on there, and you are going to wipe the droplets back and forth around there. So I think I moved in. There we go. So there's a little droplet on there. You're just going to wipe that around there, smear it around so it's good and flat. Okay. So that's the other aspect of what you have to do here. Do that with each type, and again, make sure that the instruments that you use for each one are not reused again. So if you used a cotton swab, make sure you throw the cotton swab away. Pipette, same thing. And so Ryan is completing that at this point. Then we move on and do the cover slip piece. So that's the 0, 30, and 1 hour viewing times. You need to put a cover slip on the agar plate itself before we can use the microscopes. So you're going to take these guys off there. You should be able to see a little bit where it was smeared at. Take cover slips, they're in the little white box. Pull that out of there. And you're going to put the cover slip on top of the agar plate. So there it goes. It gets settled in there, and you're going to then use the microscope. And there we go, the unveiling, very nice. And we're going to take the microscope, and a couple things about the microscope. We're going to use the petri dishes underneath there. They don't fit very well unless you actually move the stage back on there. And I'll kind of illustrate that here. So you have to move this, that moving bar piece right here. You have to move that back. And once you move that back, then you're good to go. And then you set that in there, look at it underneath 40 magnification, and we'll see if we can get to there. Should be the second one. And we should be able to observe cells under different conditions. You might want to take your goggles off before you do that. And Ryan had some shout outs that he wanted to include on this, but instead I'd like to show why Ryan works out. Because he needs to take, he has to take a peek first of all. And then he has to take the cover off of this. And he's really strong. Do you guys know he works out? Yeah, he never got the cap off. Anyway, that's it for the lab. Hopefully that preview helps you guys out. You can get to it. You should have, maybe 10-15 minutes of time, and then you're pretty much done with the whole thing.